What is good, YouTube? Natepushweights back here with another Call of Duty Modern Warfare video. Today we're going to be talking about the must settings you need for Modern Warfare. You need these settings, alright? Now, if you're not running these settings, I don't know what you're doing, alright? Now, before we get into this video, slap that like button, thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and also hit that notification bell. Now, I hope this helps you out. I know this will help you out. Let's get right into it. Now, as you guys can see here, I'm right on my settings. In order to get to your settings, obviously, just go to options and go to general, okay? Now, we're not going to really talk about the keyboard, mouse settings, and we're not really going to talk about controller settings as much. We're going to focus on the general tab, graphics, and also audio. But we'll jump into controller because I actually do play with the controller. But if you're looking for some keyboard and mouse settings, I'm not really the guy for you because I do not play Call of Duty with keyboard and mouse. I play with a controller. But let's get right into it. As you guys can see, obviously, you're going to want to have your field of view, your temporary field of view. Now, when using your field of view, okay, you must know two things, okay? You will be able to see a lot of space, okay? It's like the field of depth. Field of depth. That's how you say it. Field of depth, okay? You're going to be able to see a lot more areas than you typically won't be able to, okay? So now if you're playing on PC, okay? If you have Call of Duty Modern Warfare on PC and you're using a controller, this benefits you a lot because you cannot have this setting on regular console. Like if you had this game on if you had Modern Warfare on just console, you don't have this tab that says field of view right here that you guys see. You don't have this option, okay? Now, for me, I keep this on 80. Typically, if I really feel like I want to go higher, I'll go like up to 85, and that's it. I don't really go higher than 90. I don't go higher. I don't go 100. I most certainly do not go 100, okay, or like 110. I never go this high. You want to know why? I want to say this because for me, when I'm at 80, I can see enough to where I don't have to just see my weapon. I can see far enough to see an enemy at a distance in a building, for so to say, okay? Now, if you're on console, by default, I believe this is at 70 or 75. I think it's at 70. I'm not sure. I'm not 100%. But I think it's at like 70, okay? At 80, like I said again, I'm able to see players at a distance camping, most certainly, and I'm able to see a lot more things going on from my side view. So at a corner on the side, you see what I'm saying? So having your field view at 80 is a must, okay? It's definitely a must. I think it'll benefit you. If you want to put it up to 85, that's good too. You'll see a lot more. But take note, when you go over to like 95, when you go like 100, you are seeing so much, right? If you have a monitor that is 1920 by 1080, right? And like, let's say 24 inches, 27 inches, let's say 24 inches. You are actually not going to be able to see much of, players, other enemies coming at you. Okay, it's gonna look a lot different, and it's gonna look weird in my opinion, especially if you're a console player, right? So PC players, keyboard and mouse players, they typically like a higher field of view because they can see so much, and the people that use this high field of view, they're using monitors that are like 1440p, the 4K monitors. They're using bigger monitors, so technically they can see more, okay, rather than being capped at 80 field of view. If that makes any sense to you, let me know in the comment section. I'll kind of help you out a little bit better. But as far as everything else goes, now brightness, I keep this at 65. Sometimes I'll bring it down to like 50. I'll keep it regular, and then I'll just change the settings in my monitor. For those of you guys that don't know, I use an Asus monitor. It is the Swift. It's one of the Asus Rogue monitors. It's 140 hertz. So I can be able to change settings in my monitor and be able to get some good looking quality and be perfectly fine without changing settings in here. Okay? As far as saturation and all that good stuff. Now, as far as the horizontal heads-up display and vertical heads-up display, the HUD. Now, the HUD is where you see your mini-map, your kill feed, the score of the game, and like your weapon ammo and stuff like that. How big do you want that and how small do you want that on the screen while you're playing, right? Now, if you have this up to like 96, it's going to be like way out here, and you're going to have to be like, you're going to have to look all the way up here at your monitor just to see the HUD, okay? I have this typically just at 30. You want to know why? Because I can just move my eye just a little bit and see enemies on the map if they're close. You know what I mean? You don't want to have to strain your eye looking all the way up just to see the mini map, okay? So have this at like 30 in my opinion. Obviously, it's going to be different if you're running a bigger monitor, like I said again. But yeah, that should help you out for sure. Now, as far as, other stuff, subtitles I don't use. Now, color blind filter. Color blind type. Okay, now this is very, very key. Now, listen to me right now. If you are very good at Call of Duty, if you are a god, you are most certainly using a color blind type. Okay? Now, this filters the colors. This changes the way colors look in the game. For instance, if you didn't know this, okay? Colorblind type actually changes the shadows to where you're looking at enemies in the game. If there's an enemy hiding in the shadows and you're not using the colorblind filter, guess what? You're not gonna see him. You're not gonna see him. I guarantee you're not gonna see him. I swear. Okay? If you're set to off and you don't know how to change your monitor color and change settings, you're not gonna see him. Okay? By far. Now, let me ask Google how you pronounce this, because I don't want to butcher this. Ready? Hey, Google, how do you pronounce Tritanopia?
That's pronounced Tritanopia.
Okay, thank you, Google. Tritanopia, okay? Tritanopia by far is the best colorblind filter. Simple, okay? Simple. There's no better. There's another one. I like this one too. It kind of looks similar, but this one, the Trinopia one, looks very saturated to where you can see colors better, okay? All these other ones, Protanopia, I mean, if you actually have a colorblind, effect in your eye, maybe, these are better for you, but I don't have one. I don't have a colorblind effect in my eyes. I automatically use this one because it's the best. Try it. Just try it and let me know in the comment section. Now, as far as, the colorblind target, you're going to want to have this on both. You're going to want to have it on both. Just have it on both, okay? Now, as far as, content filters, that's up to you. Okay. Here's another one. The frames per second counter, okay? Frames per second. You want this on your screen, okay? You see this top area right here? You guys can't even see my cursor. I'm not even showing my cursor. Hold on one second. Let me try to fix this for you guys. Where is it? There we go. All right. There we go. All right. You guys see this right here? You guys see this up here? This is a frames per second counter. So you'll see how many frames I'm actually hitting during the game. Okay. I love to have this. I hit like 150 frames per second consistently. You can see the GPU time, CPU time, and also the temperatures and stuff like that, and also latency. You're gonna want to have this on. Okay. Now let me stop here. Okay. This is strictly just for PC. Okay. If you're playing console, you're not gonna see any of these filters because you're capped, meaning you don't have this. They're making you run a certain frames per second, which is basically 60. So this video might not help you out, but then again, it still helps you out in the sense of what settings you need that you do have for console. Okay, so keep watching. All right, sorry, but yeah, have all this enabled. It's perfect. You can see all this. If there's something wrong with your GPU, or if your internet is bad, you'll see it. You'll be like, oh, why is my internet lagging, or why is my game lagging? You can look right up there at latency, and it'll tell you right then and there. Whether you don't have to do all these technical tests. It's all right there for you. Now let's move over to graphics. For the graphics, okay, I'm running a 1920 by 1080. Okay, if you're running 1920 by 1080, you're gonna want this to be 1920 by 1080 for your settings. If you're running anything different, obviously you're gonna want it that setting for that resolution. Clearly. Display monitor, I run a 3-monitor setup, so I gotta pick the right monitor. Boom. I run display mode full screen borderless If you want to change your screen refresh rate, you're gonna have to make this full screen, okay, and then you can change it. But I'm capped at 144. I can overclock to 180, but I'm gonna do 144, okay. Advanced tab, really doesn't matter about that. But you can downscale if you wanted to. Now, as far as sync every frame for VSync always disable. That thing is, you'll notice an input lag if you're running this on enabled. So hopefully that helps you out if you had that running. As far as custom frame rate, you're gonna want to do a custom frame rate. Obviously, try to keep your menu custom frame rate low. That way you're not overloading your GPU with all this frame rates and stuff like that, unless you have a good frame rate or a GPU. If you have a good GPU, have all this up. I only can really get like 160 frames per second consistently, so I keep this capped right here. There's no sense of going overboard. So yeah, just find your niche. If you have a bad GPU, if you don't really get high frame rates, lower this. I'm telling you, you will see a better performance in your game. Okay. As far as nvidia highlights, I keep that off. Display gamma 2.2. As far as all the textures and details in the game, I keep everything on low. It's the best performance. I disable any unnecessary things that I need. But yeah, like I said again, if you have a good GPU, this doesn't matter. I mean, it does matter. You're still going to affect your performance in some way of how you look at the screen while playing. But if you disable everything, you'll have nothing to worry about. Everything will be lag free. It'll be good. You're good to go. But as far as filmic strength, if you have this off, you're going to need to raise this to about 100 or 50 just to, avoid the film grain in the game. Trust me, just keep that up there. Keep that in mind. Now on to the next one. Audio. Boost low is the best audio mix to have in this game. Don't listen to any other YouTuber or anybody else that's telling you anything is better. Boost low is the best. Now, I want to take granted right now of what I said. Boost low is the best if you have an Astro or a professional headset, okay? If you have a professional headset, this is the best setting. If you don't have a professional headset, none of these settings are better for you. Actually, boost low is still better for you because you're going to hear less sound of aircrafts and sentry guns going off, and you're going to hear less high volume sound. You're going to hear better footsteps. Now, if you have a professional headset like an Astro or a Razer or like a Corsair or whatever, right? Or a Turtle Beach, right? These headsets have certain programs in the computer, right? They have programs, right? Where you can change the sound frequency of certain sounds. So I can literally raise the footstep sound in the headset. So I can hear footsteps a lot better. That's why they say gaming headsets are the best, right? They're not lying. If you have a gaming headset, you're going to be better than the next player that doesn't. You know what I mean? It's simple. You're going to be able to hear this before the next person that doesn't have a headset, right? Invest in that. Now, as far as, the settings go for this, you're going to want to have your master volume down, okay? Do not have this up. You're going to bleed your ears out. It's going to be bad. You're not going to be able to hear footsteps like you should, okay? Have your master volume down at a comfortable volume. I have it at 60. I keep the music off. I keep the dialogue down because the dialogue goes crazy in this game, okay? And I put the effects down just a little bit. That way, like I said again, I have pre-settings for my headset to where I can hear footsteps better, okay? Now, I'm not going to go in depth and show you how to change your settings for your Astros or your new headset, right? You got to figure that out yourself, okay? But that is the way to do it. All these other ones, like studio reference, too loud. Home theater, too loud. Midnight mode is actually a little bit louder, I think. Boost is way too loud. Boost high is garbage. Do not use it. Boost low, okay? Boost low boosts the frequency of the low volumes, okay? Remember that. Other than that, everything else, your voice chat, it's all up to you basically. Now, for me, I play on controller settings. I play tactical. I also play 7/7, which is a high sensitivity. Obviously, I want to be able to turn around and hit nice flicks on the controller. As far as ADS sensitivity goes, 1.12 is very comfortable for me. Obviously, for you, you're gonna have to, fill your settings. That's what you got to do. But that's perfect for me. Now, a must-have. Okay, if you do not have aim response curve type on standard, you're playing this game completely wrong. I feel bad for you, honestly. Obviously, if you're comfortable with your settings, stay comfortable with your settings. But standard is basically regular Call of Duty aim assist. Okay, and also aim assist, like for the weapons, whatever. Well, these two are completely different, right? Aim response curve type is when you're turning and trying to shoot somebody for aim assist, right? Aim assist right here is just typical. Okay, let me zoom in a little bit and shoot, right? When you zoom in a little bit and shoot, you're getting aim assist, right? Keep this on standard as well. Like I said again, it's regular Call of Duty aim assist. Okay, all these other ones like precision, focusing, I wouldn't really touch, honestly, in my opinion. I think it's horrible. As far as weapon mount, I use enabled. So when I mount my weapon and I try to move out, like I push back on the thumbstick to try to get out of there, you're going to want that enabled because you'll be able to get out of there if somebody has you basically shot to death. All right? Trust me, keep that enabled. And that's pretty much it. Everything else is very standard. You guys can copy my settings if you want to. But yeah, that is pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think. Be sure to add me on Activision at Natepushweights. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Again, yeah. Hope these settings helped you out. Slap that like button, and thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.